Hello, LES people. How are you all doing? Welcome to Talking LES today. And I'm so excited to see every one of you. Before I go on, I want to stop and say thank you to all the LES people who visited our virtual LES lounge yesterday, where we got to meet Reggie the Rookie. I'm sure you saw Reggie the Rookie with her red notepad, her pen, and a big smile on her face, ready to learn every day, anytime. So guys, whenever you see Reggie the Rookie pop up on your Instagram feed, I want you to stop and read the question that she's asking and send her an answer. Tell her whatever answer you want to give to her so it can guide her practice. She's new in the LES, on the LES block, and she's here ready to learn. So yesterday, Rookie asked the question. She said, a 3 to 4 year old was asked to write A to C on his boxed notebook. You know those boxed notebook, right? Those of us in the LES setting, it's an exercise book that has boxes where children can write inside each box. So a child was asked to write A to C in the boxed notebook. And her question, Reggie's question was, should I hold the child's hand all the way through? That's what Reggie the Rookie wanted to know. Now, a lot of us gave her ideas and shared our experiences with her and suggested to her what you think she should do and what she shouldn't do. And I want to say thank you because those were valid points that you shared with Reggie the Rookie. So I want to talk about it just to wrap it up today, okay? So I had a call from a school owner, and she called me sounding all frantic and saying, so I asked her to calm down, what's going on, what's the issue? And she said the parent just called her last night and was raving. She was really angry and saying that her child, she asked her child to write M to O. By the way, her child is 3 years, 8 months, okay? 3 years, 8 months. You know how when they come into the nursery class in September, some are 3 years in September, while others in September are maybe 3 years, 2 months, 3 years, 4 months, 3 years, 5 months, and all. So because they're not all born at the same time, the same month. So this child was asked to write M to O. And the child couldn't do this. And the mom was surprised, like, why is it that my child cannot write M to O? My child is 3 years, 8 months. How come my child can't write M to O? So what she did was she went back to the child's notebook, school, classwork book, and saw that her child could write A to Z. And the writing was really clear. The formation was neat, was bold and sharp. And she didn't see the child's handwriting waving in any way. And so she was surprised, like, why is it that the school is telling me that my child can write A to Z? Meanwhile, at home, my child cannot write M to O. So that was the parent's concern, and they called the school owner. So the school owner was like confused. She didn't know what to say. So she found a way to talk to the parent about it, and then she called the teacher of that child. And the teacher said, Ma, you know that boy is very lazy. He doesn't like to write. He just complains when it's time to write and everything. So what I usually do is I hold his hand and I help him to write everything, because we have short period and I want to finish my scheme. I can't be wasting time waiting for him to finish writing. So what I do is I hold his hand and I help him write everything. So the school owner was like shocked. She was infuriated, like she was saying, so now you held the boy's hand to write from the beginning to the end. The boy hasn't learned the skill because you're helping him write all the time because you want to finish your work and move on to the next thing. Now the mother is calling me, the mother isn't calling you. So who is bearing the heat now? Who is facing the heat? So she called me and was just pouring out her heart and about all this, and really worried about how the parent is feeling and what the parent is thinking about the school. So I tried to calm her down as much as I could, and I shared with her a story about a certain school in a certain LES setting in a school. So I told her about an experience I had some months back. Like, I walked into an LES setting, and when you walk into that space, what you see is a well-lit room. It's a rectangular room, very spacious. And then on the right-hand side over there, you see a shelf. On the shelf, or in the shelf, you see resources. You see the abacus, You see the sandpapers, you see the sand tray, you see the Play-Doh, you see the wooden puzzles, you see cars, you see so many other resources there for the children to use. You see markers, you see individual whiteboards, and so many other resources. Then on the wall, you see letters, letter phrases, like upper and lower cases, you see numbers, colors. So the place was really, really beautiful to see, and it was an environment that spoke out loud for itself. And when you look at the student sitting arrangement, there were like 4 tables, 4 white tables, and you see like 4 children around each table. And in that class, you have like 2 adults, right? 2 adults. Okay, so, and what I noticed when I walked into this class is like the children in the class were doing different things on their tables. So one table had Play-Doh, and you have a child rolling Play-Doh and forming letter C, or forming any letter. The particular child I saw was forming letter C. She rolled the Play-Doh and she curve it to form the letter C. And then you see another child with the sandpaper letters, using his finger to trace around the letters, forming just forming the letter using the sandpaper flashcard. And then another child had a wooden sand tray with a flashcard pegged on the edge, and the child would look at the letter and try to imitate that letter on the sand tray. Another child had colored rice on a tray, and they had the flashcard on the table, and what the child would do is look at the letter and trace that letter on the colored rice tray. So this set of children were doing a different thing. The other set of children were using their individual whiteboard. They had this individual whiteboard and they had markers, so they were all tracing. And on top of that table, you will see flashcards on the table. So the child will look at the letter on the flashcard and try to write it just imitate that letter using the marker on the individual whiteboard. While some other children were tracing dots, like how all the dotted letters. So the other children on the other table were tracing dots. They were tracing curves, lines, and all that. While the last set of children were actually writing. So what the teacher was doing was she was circulating the classroom. So she'll meet, for those of them that were already writing, there's a certain child that she'll be guiding using her words. She'll say, all right, go around, up, down, and a flick. Great job. And you know that as the child was doing this, she was encouraging the child. She was just encouraging the child and saying that he was doing the right thing. So she will write around, up, down, and a flick. So you're looking at me on the reverse side, but let's say she goes around, up, down, and a flick. That's a letter A. So for one child, all the child was writing was letter A. So the child had enough time to practice writing the letter A. While other children were already, they had the letters written on the first row of the box notebook, and the child was to copy out. Then you see a particular child that falls in the group of the children that were writing. Okay, so but the child will say, hold my hand, hold my hand. So the teacher will say, will guide the child using her words and tell the child what to do. So the child will try to follow, but she still wanted the teacher to hold his hand. So the teacher what she would do is she would put her hand on top of the child's hand, and the child will actually do the movement. So what she discovered was that child knew how to write, but she needed that encouragement, somebody to just be close to him to help him take the step. So the teacher understood that, and then what she would do is she puts her hand on the child's hand, and the child would trace the letter. So the teacher's hand wasn't moving the hand. The teacher's hand was just there to encourage the child, and the child was moving his hand to write the letters, and then the child kept going until they got to a certain point. So you see that the children were doing different things in the classroom because of their different ages and their different abilities, and the teacher was circulating the classroom, giving them the necessary support that they needed, while the other teacher was guiding those, just being around to supervise what everybody else was doing. And this kind of classes that have you can see through to the other classroom. So when I looked around, when I turned to my left, I saw another teacher still in the same 3 to 4 year class. So she had the same, because the school have the same arrangement, the same way of doing things. So she had the children divided into different groups and doing different things. But what she was doing in her own class was different. So you could see her holding the child's hand and moving. You can see that she was moving the hand by herself, and it was moving really fast, like moving really fast. So she wrote everything to the end. So you wonder, there are two different teachers in the same school with the same group of children, and they're working with them on writing. One is supporting the child with her words, encouraging the child using the pattern around, up, down, and a flick. Around, up, down, and a flick. Up, down, and around. So she was using her words to guide the child to write, and she was supporting the child when needed. But once the hand is there, after some time, to pull her hand away, it's almost like scaffolding. So you're there for some time to support. After some time, you pull your hand away, and you see that the child keeps writing. So with time, the child starts getting confidence and start feeling confident and start feeling like they can do it on their own. And that's when you begin to step back a little bit. So Reggie the rookie, for every rookie out there, if a child around that age is asked to write, you don't write for them from the beginning to the end. You support them because children need that support. So there are some things that you need to take note of. One, does the child have the pre-writing skills? Has the child been exposed to the kind of activities that they should be doing to build their fine motors? Do you have the right resources to support this child's development in that area? Have you observed to see if this child has confidence issues or not? If the child has confidence issues, what are you doing? Are you trying to support the child with your words and encouraging the child to try? Because when the child tries new things, right, even if they fail, they keep trying again. That shows that the child is learning. Are you supporting the child to help build the child's confidence? Are you giving the child extra time to practice just one letter? Don't give them too many, because you take it a step at a time. If you write A to Z, it will be too much. Just take it maybe A and let them finish A. You saw that they're confident with A, you move to B. You don't want to rush to finish the scheme. Just give them little chunks at a time and observe to see that they're learning the skill. All right. And, just give them the general support that they need. Don't help the child to write from beginning to the end. You can model some examples and let them do the rest by themselves. Don't be hard on for them to finish everything from the beginning to the end when they are not feeling confident about that skill. Just take them a step at a time. As their confidence increases, as they develop their fine motor skills, as they feel excited and confident that they can do this, then you can step back a bit and watch them grow and watch them learn and watch them develop. So we're going to wrap it up here for every rookie in the block. And for Reggie, I hope you've been taking your notes in your red notepad. Lesson for today: don't hold a child's hand to write from the beginning to the end. Give them little chunks and let them try. Give them ample opportunities to practice the skill. Check out to see if it's confidence or if they have any other issues. You can talk to your supervisor or talk to someone else that can support you in that area. So we're wrapping it up for today. Take home: don't hold a 3-year, 8-month-old to write from A to Z. Give them the necessary support that they need. Make sure they're practicing, they're painting, they're coloring, they're playing with Play-Doh, they're picking up little objects, they're exercising their fine muscles. Once you're sure that they've met all those, then you can begin to introduce new concepts a little at a time. But please do not hold a child's hand to write from beginning to the end. So we're wrapping it up for today. To have a lovely day and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, everyone. Bye.